Hi again. This time it is the Flexi Pipe joint that's gone between the catalytic converter and the exhaust. So I've checked how much a new is, and they're quite expensive, so I'm going to see if there's any way I can fix it myself. So we'll see how that goes. So using my levelers to make sure that I can raise the van a bit so I can get under, and a standard toolbox. So that's the issue. Completely gone. Looks like it's quite bad condition, so not sure how I'm going to fix this, but we'll figure it out. What makes it trickier is that I've put on a safety clamp here so that no one can steal the catalytic converter. So that obviously is now having to take that off, which is not going to be fun, but it has to happen. Seems like we have one clamp here, so you can see it, that holds the parts together. Then we have a couple of sensors. So coming in from this side, then it looks easier to get it off from here. So you have a clamp there, we have a clamp, we have a sensor there. We need to disconnect these two, and then we have two sensors down there. That is to they can stay where they are. But these two needs to come off, that needs to come off, and this one needs to come off as a start. That is just a 13 size. Number 17 for that sensor there that I've just removed. Okay, I have a problem losing this one. It's just too tight. I can probably put some WD-40 or degreaser or anything on it, or maybe heat it up a bit, but instead I'm following this all the way up here, and there's a connection up here, a plastic connection that just sits with a plastic tie band. So I'm going to just cut that one and take that connection out, rather than to remove it, because it's flexible anyway, so it shouldn't prevent me from pulling the exhaust out. So once it's been removed, you can pull it straight out and then feed it behind here. You don't have to remove that. There we go. Like that. To remove this piece, it sits in some rubber hangers, so you should just be able to slide it out. One of the four has a little clip on here, so instead of taking that clip off, I'm actually going to unhook it from here, so the whole rubber piece comes out, and then I can hook it back on again. The back piece just sits with these rubber thingies, and same thing this one. So the old clamp is a bit rusty, so trying to just clean that up and see if I can get a bolt off. Ended up having to use an angle grinder instead, because it was completely wrecked. you have these two. Instead of pulling these out, because I don't have that tool, I am taking this off and I'm loosening 2 screws from the back here, and then I should be able to take this whole piece off rather than removing the rest. That piece is now loose. I should be able to slide it all out. So we have last 2 bolts up there holding the whole thing, so that's what I'm gonna get off now. So I'll cut this one, and I've also noticed that there is a piece here that snapped, so that's a good opportunity to weld that back again. So I need to take these 2 bolts off, and then I should be able to slide this whole thing out. So finally out. This is one of the brackets that had snapped, so I need to get that off so we can get welded as well. At a closer look at the exhaust, I noticed that a lot of these brackets are really rusty, so it's a good opportunity for me to strengthen them as well with some additional welds and support. Getting the catalytic converter and the pieces over to a neighbor's house for some welding. Well, first a little hello to black. The rusty bolt, or the clamp that holds the back exhaust and the catalytic converter together, needs to be replaced, so found a piece that I could take from a new clamp. But the clamp was wrong, but the actual bolt fitted perfectly well to replace the rusty bolt. The exhaust bracket now welded together and should be good for a few more years. And found at the local car dealership a kind of aftermarket Flexi Pipe that I'm going to cut to length and then ask my neighbor to weld it back on again. Just charging my tools with the solar panel. As I took the catalytic converter out, I also realized that the top brackets had also snapped. So in essence, the whole catalytic converter and exhaust literally just been hanging in the sensors and the rubber grommets. So that needs to be fixed as well and welded. This is the welded piece that's been strengthened as well. So it should be good for a couple more years. This is the Flexi Pipe. that after it had been cut to length, it's been welded back on again, and it should definitely hold up for a few more years. All the brackets on the exhaust itself has been strengthened to make sure that they last for a few more years as well. Okay, so the exhaust in the catalytic converter is now back again. It's the new Flexi Pipe is on. It's pretty clear why it broken in the first place. It's because both of the attachment point steel plates had snapped. So was this an easy job? No, I wouldn't say it was. Would I do it again to save £400? Yes, I would, but not for any other reason. Thanks for watching.